Hello everyone, I'm Pedro. I'm the producer of Dolmen.
Hey everybody, I'm Rachel. I'm the PR rep for Dolmen.
If you want to check our game out, you can download our demo on our Kickstarter page.
This is a Rated R podcast by Bamsters.
Check us out.
Hello folks, and welcome to episode 133 of the Bamsters Rated R show. Draconus here, and my apologies in advance, but due to a variety of reasons, you're going to be stuck with just me for this first part, but then I'll turn you over to Bam and G for our interview. They're going to be talking about the video game Dolmen, a third-person sci-fi action horror game with some RPG and crafting elements. But before I turn this over, we're going to run through a few of the games that are coming out next month that you might be interested in playing. And first up, on October 2nd, is Forza Horizon 4. Now, if you haven't seen this, definitely go check out some of the videos and media and whatnot. The game looks incredible, and I don't play typically a lot of racing games, mostly Mario Kart, in fact. But this is one of those that's kind of captured my attention just from the way that it looks, and I'm really hoping, I've heard a lot of good things about the Forza series. I know Bam has another series, was it maybe Need for Speed or something like that he was more into. But I don't know, this is one that I'm definitely considering. I may not pick it up at release, as it's going to be on PC and Xbox One for $59.99. It's definitely one I'm going to keep an eye out. Maybe when it's on a sale, I'll pick it up. But if you're into racing games and you've got a PC or an Xbox, this definitely could be an interesting title for you. Following that, on October 5th, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm sorry, did I just hear a collective sigh or groan? Another Assassin's Creed? Yeah, it seems like a series that will just keep on going, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, so long as the stories being told are interesting, I think. This one takes place, even before Origins, and I don't know how much... I've seen some gameplay, and the gameplay itself looks very interesting. What they were showing off at E3 and PAX was the combat looks like it ought to be fun and interesting, and it's got some cool options there. As far as the story, I can't really tell you too much about the story, but this I can tell you that it will be set. This is basically going to be like ancient Greece, is what it looked like, and yeah, that's about as much as I can tell you about the story. So I was mostly focused on what the game looked like and how it looked like it played and stuff like that when I did get a chance to see it. So it is another Assassin's Creed title, and it will be on PC, PS4, Xbox One. There are several editions available, starting out at $59.99 for the basic and going all the way up to $220. However, the $220 version appears to be sold out, so the most at this point that you would be able to spend picking it up would be $160 for one of the collector versions. That comes out on the 5th of October. Next up, on the 12th of October, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. Call of Duty is another series that's been around for a while, and if you've been playing games for any length of time, I'm sure you've heard of Call of Duty, especially if you've been playing shooting games. This game has gotten a lot of good things that have been said about it from the beta, and basically folks going in and trying out. I think it's the Battle Royale version that's going to be coming with the game. It's fast, it's fluid, the gun mechanics are supposed to be really, really well done, fun to play. It definitely feels like a Call of Duty game from what I've heard, so if you've enjoyed that series, then you should enjoy this. If you're into Battle Royale games, it could be something worth taking a look at. I haven't seen anything that says they're going to sell the Battle Royale game separately, though I know a lot of folks have been asking for that, or maybe hoping that they would. So if you do want to play this Battle Royale, it looks like you'll have to pay for the full game. That'll be on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, starting at $59.99. With other versions, it goes up to $129.99. And then lastly for the month, on the 30th of October, an appropriate release, Call of Cthulhu from Cyanide and Focus Home Interactive. Now this will be out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One for $44.99, but it's 10% off until Steam release on the 30th of October. At least for Steam. I can't say for PS4 or Xbox One. This is going to be a much slower pace than something like Call of Duty or potentially Assassin's Creed and Forza, but this is more of an adventure horror game. It's going to be from the first-person perspective. and you're playing as a detective who's been sent to find out what happened to the death of a family in a house that was built back in I think it's the 1600s. And of course, it's a Cthulhu game, so knowledge has its price, and the more knowledge you have, the more likely you are to go insane. And it looks like it has some interesting game mechanics with, basically how you investigate and learn things along the way. And from what I was reading, it looks like the more knowledge you gather through your investigations will give you additional dialogue options when you're talking to people and trying to figure out what's going on. So if you're into horror games or adventure games, this is something that may be of interest to you as well. If you're into Cthulhu games at all, or that type of mythos, then this is definitely something that could be worth checking out. And that's it for the month of October. And I'm sure there are at least some of you back there saying, wait a minute, isn't there a certain cowboy game that you're not talking about? Well, yeah, that's because I'm still a little salty over the fact that they're not releasing on PC. So I wanted to play that on PC, darn it. But with that, I'm going to get out of the way and turn it over to Bam and G so you can hear about Dolmen. Though, just in case you weren't aware and would like to see footage of the game that they're talking about while they are doing the interview, you can always check us out on YouTube and see footage of the game that's being discussed. Just search for Bampsters on YouTube, or we also post links in the announcements on Twitter and Facebook.
So hey guys, I'm Pedro.
Hey everybody, I'm Rachel. I'm the PR rep for Dolmen.
It's a third-person action RPG that mixes science fiction with lovecraftian cosmic horror.
This is a rated R podcast by Bamsters.
Hello guys and welcome back. My name is Bam. You guys know me and love me. Today I have joining me is G. G will be running Wingman PRC, and today guys the interview is Pedro. And Pedro, believe it or not, has a crutch. He has a translator. He has someone to help him speak the Englishes because English isn't our first language. Is that right, Pedro?
Yeah. Hey Ben, for me, it's my third language. But I'm happy that we have G and Rachel here from GamePublX to help us, Jim.
Happy to help.
Oh, Pedro, or should I say, buenas noches, Pedro. It can't be that bad.
I actually think he speaks great English. So, my opinion.
Yeah, just the vocabulary sometimes I miss some words. But thanks, guys, and thanks for having us here.
So, Pedro, your game, Dolmen, I've been playing it. I've been enjoying it a little bit. But could you kind of introduce the game to us? Because I would, but the intro left me confused.
Yeah, Dolmen's it's a love story that we have for the past 1 year and a half, approximately. It's a third-person action RPG that mixes futuristic science fiction with Lovecraftian cosmic horror. In a way that we have been inspired very much from games like Dark Souls and Bloodborne for some mechanics, for example, for the melee combat, and also we are trying to introduce a gun to the system, so we hit heavy between the mixings on melee and ranged weapons in this game. And of course, we have a whole RPG system behind that with a lot of crafting and level up and a skill tree that you can develop. So what we're trying to do in Dolmen is give a very immersive atmosphere of science fiction and also give a wide array of choices to the players on how to play the game. You have ranged weapons, you have melee weapons, and it's your choice.
Yeah, would I be off if I said Mass Effect meets, Dark Souls, etc., meets Lovecraft?
We hear a lot of
Pretty good description.
Yeah, we hear a lot of people saying that it's like Dark Souls and Dead Space had a baby child. And it's really funny to see, the public and the players getting all the references and the inspirations that even on the artistic part. For example, this whole first level is very based on the macabre artist H.R. Giger from movies like Prometheus and Alien. And it's really funny to see, when the people playing and getting what we have done, it's really cool.
That's probably the most brilliant blend of cosmic horror meets sci-fi. It's a mix of really two distinct genres.
It has a nice feel to it visually. It has a really nice feel to it. With, you're in your little suit, you look futuristic, but you're running around with what looks like an axe-ish. And you have a gun, and, there's tech, but there's all this horror and creatures that you're dealing with, enemies that are not necessarily creatures as well. It feels well, the visuals. I might say a little bit Starship Trooperish enemy as well.
Yes, G. Yeah, very good eye especially for the spiders, right?
Yeah, the arachnids are very Starship Troopery. When I first saw them, I kind of felt like I was back on Planet X.
Yes, that's really that's exactly what I was talking about. For example, this Starship Trooper feeling. We hear that a lot too. People, as soon as they see that enemy, they were like, "Oh my god, what is this? Is that a spider? It looks like a Starship Trooper monster." It's really, really good. It's a good feeling to have the people like getting all the inspiration, and you're right. You just went right on the spot.
So, but allow me. I start out by saying the intro left me confused. The intro is very atmospheric. I love the voice. I love the voice acting you've added in there. The script is nice, but I must be missing something. Are we in a dream? Are we on a nightmare planet? Is this real or is it fantasy?
It's very real. We just play a little bit with the construction of reality or time itself. So, for example, when you die, you can see the message "timeline erased." So, yes, I'm not. I can't tell. I can't tell why it works like this. I would be spoiling anything, but I can tell that Dolmen is an artifact that is hidden in this planet that was devastated by a huge war, because of a bad alien race that was looking for Dolmen. And they came to this planet and really devastated it and killed all the other races looking for the Dolmen, but they couldn't find it. And they have abducted us and put it out on this planet, but we don't know why. And this story, we're trying to not giving it all straight away, to the player. So the story will come in small pieces from different directions, sometimes even contradictory. You have to choose who to believe, let's say, and then it will be up to you, the player, to choose your path, let's say, and find out how this will end up.
See, you say they're looking for this dolmen, but it's been a while since I had history lessons, etc. But a dolmen is a burial tomb. Early Neolithic, so 3,000-4,000 years before Christ. Are they looking for a tomb, or is that just a coincidence?
Yes, so we have the word. It means in some culture, ancient culture, it's a tomb. Others said that it was some kind of portal of passage to another dimension. So on the game, you have to find out. All I can say is it's kind of an artifact.
Okay, because immediately that my brain went to, tombs, we're looking for dead people, then seeing that intro, we're being waken up and we're having the timeline erased when we die. It's kind of like, I wonder what's going on here. It has very much a feel of you're not quite sure what is real and what isn't.
Mm-hmm. And as you saw in the beginning, you are awake by an alien voice in your head, and this guy is basically, you'll hear him at some points of the level. The game, you'll be able to hear him again. He'll be kind of a guide to you, and what he basically says is that he's waking you up because you were trapped. He's trapped too, and maybe the rest of your crew is trapped with him. And then if you could help him get out of his prison, he can tell you where the rest of your crew is. So the story on Dolmen, it will not be about you or the planet Earth. It will be about this planet. It's called Revium Prime. What happened there before you got there, and what is Dolmen. Basically, your only way to get back to Earth is also finding the Dolmen.
Another big component of the game is energy management. We actually have to acquire energy in order to activate your ranged weapons. Keep that healthy throughout.
We have a third bar. Like many other games, we have the health bar, the stamina bar, and we also have a third bar. That's the energy bar. And with the energy, we can do a lot of things. For example, it's basically your bullets, but you can also use it to heal yourself, or to even not spend your stamina. For example, if you can activate the energy mode, and in energy mode, when you use melee attack, it doesn't consume your stamina. It will consume all your energy. And also you give bonus attack and some other elemental attacks. We also have many different elements, and the creatures in this world will react differently to each element, and they also have elemental attacks that can apply different elements on you. So you have to craft the exact armor or weapon to be able to defeat the specific kinds of enemies.
Yeah, at that point, my impression of the game leaned a little bit towards older Warframe. The notion that you spend stamina, but you can choose to spend energy, so you have the 3 bars instead of normally just energy and health. And the way that you can empower your melee attacks, etc., was a little bit of older Warframe, but in a quite different setting. No parkour in this one.
Yes, yeah. Like I said before, what we're trying to do is give a wide array of choices to players, and with the different elements, you can craft. For example, everything must be crafted, and when you craft, you can apply different elements or different materials in the crafting system. For example, it's possible for you to craft the same armor 5 times in 5 different ways, or even more times, and then you can be always upgrading your armor. And we have 3 different stances. For example, we have the light armors, the medium and heavy armor. So it really suits to any kind of play style or player.
Yeah, people like to gather materials. They can harvest a lot of the materials actually from dead bodies and create, their ultimate Sire survival gear.
So you can go the route of really focusing on crafting, focusing on equipment, focusing on leveling up that area, or you could focus on your person, your character skills, your attack skills, your weapons.
Yeah. Yes, and all the materials, they can also be consumed. So it's always an exchange game. So if you're really desperate, you can consume part of your material to recover your energy or your health, for example. But then you won't have that material to craft anymore. And some materials you can even consume it to get more experience and then level up too. But again, as soon as you consume the material, you will not be able to use that material to craft a gear, for example.
Are the drops then predetermined? Do you know what drops where? Or is it random? So if I consume a part, I might find an identical one later.
Mm-hmm. Of course, yeah. They each drop. For example, the recipe materials. You have to go to the specific mob. For example, if you need a tongue or of that monster, you have to kill him, and it has a chance to drop different parts of its. But it's just like Monster Hunter. You have to, everything you craft is made by parts of the enemies, and then you have to have 2 different parts of that enemy to be able to craft anything. made from his pieces. And then each time you kill him, it has a chance to drop or not.
Okay, and that's then where we see some of the enemies are organic, talked about the arachnids, and some of them are technological, for some reason, like robots coming out of a wall.
Yes, this bad race that killed everyone, you'll be able to see some of them ancient soldiers machines on the planet, and later on in the game you'll be able to meet some of them in person too.
But we still then have to decide which ones we're focusing on crafting style and who we're going to face next. So we craft equipment that matches the enemy type.
Yes, exactly. And you can have many different equipment stored at your ship in your vault, and then you can go back to your ship anytime and switch your gear, level up, craft more gear, etc.
Nice. Now, you noted on the Kickstarters that it's a roguelike, but I'm noticing there is a load save function. There is save points in the form of the terminals when timelines are erased. It doesn't go all the way back to the beginning. It goes to the last terminal, right?
Yes. Each time you use a terminal, your timeline, like let's say it's saved, and then if you die, you drop all the materials you have in your hand, because at the terminal you can also store your materials and items and send it directly to your ship. But if you don't, when you die, you drop those, and your energy sparks too, your experience or your souls will also be dropped on the ground. So you have to go back there and get it back.
So perhaps more fair to call it rogue light. It's not as punishing as some of the other ones.
Yes.
Bam, you're being quiet.
Yeah, I was about to say, G, you've asked all the questions. You haven't given me so much as a window to sort of jump in and say, yeah, Pedro, I've got a few questions for you because, I'm Bam and I've got questions for everybody. Can I ask a few questions to you? You're going to hog the mic.
Of course, Ben. Let's go.
It's an extensive, detailed game, so I think we've got that out of the way.
I've seen. I believe it's not with the intro, because I'm on console, right? And Pedro isn't making it for console just yet. From what I've been doing some research on, he's doing it on PC, and if there's a market for it, there will be console, Mac, Linux, so on and so forth. Is that right, Pedro?
Yes, Ben, but I can tell you that we just got our dev kits from Microsoft 2 months ago, and we may have some surprises real soon for the Xbox fans.
That's good news to hear. It's very simple to go from Windows PC to Xbox, and then hopefully hook it across to PS4, and then from there you can maybe service the Mac and Linux peoples.
Yeah, and all Xbox fans, you can see on our current demo that if you have an Xbox controller like me, you can even see on the settings that there's an Xbox controller there already.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Xbox is pretty diversified, extra much these days.
Brilliant. So listen, Pedro, dude, you've told me quite a bit about your game. You've gone through the story, you've gone through the mechanics, you've gone through the nitty-gritty. I want to know a bit more about you, my good man. So tell me, I heard through the grapevine you are a Brazilian, yes?
Yes, all the team is Brazilian.
Happy
We have a couple guys from outside, like consulting or freelancing too.
Whereabouts in Brazil are you, my good man?
We're situated in Natal and Campinas, São Paulo.
São Paulo and Natal.
Yes, 2 places, yes.
Right. Believe it or not, been to the Copacabana, been to Natal, been to Santos, been to quite a few ports on the Brazilian coast. One or two. Even been to Montevideo over in Uruguay. So yeah, I'm familiar with the little town of Natal. I've been scuba diving there as well. Some brilliant choice scuba diving spots.
Oh yeah, I love to scuba dive, man. Yeah, we're one of the top 10 cities to scuba. It's really
I
cool.
totally agree. Believe it or not, I grew up in a province of South Africa called Natal as well. You grew up in a city called Natal. Hallelujah. We are brothers from across the water, son.
That's awesome.
Right, happy days. Good. So you guys are developing in Natal with a couple of people in São Paulo, you said?
Yes, our programmers, the programming team, the design team is at São Paulo, and Natal we have our art team and the producers too.
And the producer being yourself, yes?
Oh yeah, and we have another one too.
Right, happy days. So you've got two producers, right? Who are the rest of the team? Are they part-timers or they're full-timers?
Yeah, we have 20 people approximately on the team. We have one concept artist, two 3D artists, two art directors, one level designer, one environment designer, one light artist. Let's see, two programmers, two producers, one person for the finances and everything, and contracts. Let me see if I'm missing someone.
And one rep, which is Rachel, who's joined us as well, I believe, yes?
Yes, and we
There
have
we go.
a really special Kickstarter team too.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm kind of like the honorary director during the Kickstarter campaign as far as like coordinating the team for the Kickstarter project specifically. So everybody has their set role and their profession. I just kind of help coordinate and direct when and where needed on anything we have going on to this Pedro.
Yeah, and of course you have one guy for the Keyway and another one for the community as community manager.
We have a great community manager. Really lucky.
Well, I must say, your art designers, your art and your level designers, and your music guy, right, are doing a damn good job from the demo I've seen. Very, very atmospheric, very, very, very interesting looking game. Very interesting looking game.
Thanks very much, Ben. Yeah, it's been really 1.5 years of really hard work and massive work.
Yeah, hence the name.
It's paid off. It really has. It really, really has.
When I came across them during their initial Kickstarter and I saw things, I realized, I was very impressed with Pedro and the team, and I realized that they just needed some direction and positioning, and the rest was history. So I'm really, excited to be a part of their early days, and I'm, even more excited to see where they go from here. There's so much left to their story.
Believe it or
Proud
not,
of them.
you basically segued straight into one of my next questions. Funding. Are you guys solely Kickstarter orientated, or do you guys have, or have you guys rather supported this game through your own purses, Pedro?
Yes, we have, for our seed funding, we were able to find 6 investors from our own network of friends and family only, and it took us this far. We're about to finish this whole level. That the demo is just like 2 hours of a huge level of 10 hours of gameplay, up to 10 hours of gameplay, and then we just for Kickstarter we just need this final push to get us on the open beta, to be able to get more people involved and have more people helping on the development with QA and bug report, and after that next year we can have a really perfect chapter 1, and with this proof of concept we also hope not just to make the players happy, but to also make a publisher happy, and maybe make Dolmen bigger and to be able to give the players more content, maybe a multiplayer, or for all consoles, for PlayStation and even a Nintendo Switch too. We're very hopeful that with this proof of concept, we'll be able to find a good publisher to make Dolmen the game that it deserves.
Yeah, this was, with the Dolmen team, they're actually using Kickstarter the way it should be used for games. The most honest, straightforward way to fund the game in steps. PC first. You can't go from 0 to 60. A lot of developers try to fund the whole game, which realize that money is not equating to what it will take to create servers and consoles. So I think that they're very much oriented on authenticity with their developments.
And I got that from Pedro's explanation. He says he's basically building the game in a step, and the first chapter, obviously of Dolmen, will be a proof of concept to say, listen guys, this is the money you gave us, this is the game you've done, and we are making more. Happy days, support us on Kickstarter. That makes a lot of sense, actually. A lot of indie devs can learn, I think, from this.
I really think so.
Yes, and Kickstarter it's really helpful to build the community too. So it's our second time, right?
Yeah,
So
they've got to do it twice.
Yeah, the first time we didn't make it, but for us it was so cool because we didn't have any community before the first Kickstarter. Our community was really small, and after the first Kickstarter it was like 10 times bigger, and now it's even more bigger with another round.
So
That's
nice
also-
you did it twice.
So if I may, that's also kind of one of those options you have with Kickstarter, I think. Some use it as their coming out party, some spend a full year building up community, and it has, it influences what you can get out of it, but also, how you use it. I like this idea of going into a Kickstarter, like, here's our game, finally we're ready to reveal it, let's build from here. That absolutely works. But then you're taking the right steps, you're not targeting, we'd like $500,000, please. Just saying we need step 1 done, and then we'll do step 2 later on.
With Kickstarter consumers are a lot more savvy, and I think that's the old way that Kickstarters used to fund. And a lot of times things did work out okay, but more than often things didn't. So
Yes,
right and wrong way.
Great point, G. And the other point that we had in mind before coming to Kickstarter is that we didn't want to just come and start a campaign to with I don't know how to say, with something just on the paper, with just plans. So we took our time. We built like a solid demo, and yeah, we can see it's really it's a satisfaction to see so many people playing on YouTube and Twitch, and the campaign it's even not over yet. So imagine when all the backers got their copy, it would be really cool.
Now, you went in and you did it this way, but as you point out, you had the demo, you really made a quite good demo, even I would argue. And that's critical these days, from what I can tell. Rachel, you might know this better than me, but every time we see games go on Kickstarter without a demo these days, failure is almost guaranteed. Not 100%, but it's in the cards.
Yeah, oftentimes. We actually took a little bit of a different strategy this time around for their second one. So we're going to give the demo to the backers. Right now, the only people that have demos currently before the Kickstarter ends is the people that win in contests, and also the any press or influencer
Like
out
us.
to,
Yay!
like you guys. And we feel that at the end of the campaign, I mean, they have developments going on now, so whatever is updated at the end of the campaign, the backers will get, and they'll also, depending on what level, they'll get access to ongoing updates leading up to the open.
That's a nice way. That gives them a little bit to look forward to, and then an improved product.
Exactly.
So I'm slightly curious, you mentioned, 20 people already working on this, whereas a lot of others are either 5 people or 50. So what are you targeting here? Are we talking AAA level? You talk about indies, but also that you're looking for a publisher. Are you wanting to leave the indie completely and go AA, AAA? Where do you see this thing going forward?
Nice question, G. We were very inspired by a talk that a guy from Ninja Theory gave on GDC 2 years ago. That he's called the Independent AAA Proposition. So we really agree with him that we have a huge gap between the indies and the AAA games. So I would say we are aiming in the middle, but
The mid-core.
but Dolmen can really become something bigger. It's already bigger than us, I can tell.
Yeah, that's why, looking at it, my feeling is, I like that term, the triple I. It's indie, but you're going all out. And then the next step, getting a publisher and going double A, basically. No, not full triple A because, ouch, those budgets, right? But still, get a publisher, get more money for it, get a really good story going. You have one, but you can always improve, right?
Of
And you
course.
just never know. You just never know. I mean, after the initial onset of you going all out, the history could be Dolmen 2 or other chapters or other games even, so it really is a never-ending story possibility.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, we already tested Dolmen with the public on Brazil Game Show 2 times, on GDC, PAX East, more recently at Gamescom. And Gamescom, we had more than 800 people playing the game along the 5 days. So we can see in their eyes that they want this game.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm with them. I didn't play it at Gamescom. Sorry, I was busy to see you guys. Plus, Rachel didn't warn me that you were there even. And Rachel.
Aw, sorry about that.
But looking before and also today when I was playing it, I want this game. It isn't just, this looks like it'll be fun. No, I want this game. It needs to exist.
Conquer it.
Get
Conquering.
developing, right? Stop sitting here and talking to us. Go back to keyboard programs.
Back to work.
Don't worry, at this moment I'm uploading an update on Steam. So maybe at the end of the interview you'll have that.
I've never actually said anything to them. I never said anything to them, but I my personal dream, it's just my personal disclaimer, I want to see this become a movie of some sort. It just has that feel. Yeah, there's a lot of games that do become movies in the future, so whether that happens or not, I would love to see that, personally. I'm a big sci-fi fan, so.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, said that, Rachel, because 2 months ago I was on a game jam and I met a movie director, and when he saw some of our trailers and cinematics, he was like, "Damn, man, let's just make me a 5-minute story with this, and let's put this on a contest, on a movie contest." And
You never know.
like,
You never
yeah.
know. You could get discovered after you go bigger. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Ooh, let's get Neil Blomkamp to do like a 5-minute version of this. That could be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys also talk about comic books, right?
Yes, I should say we don't have the comic book guys here. Bam and I, we read them, but nowhere near the experts.
Draken, TJ are just they're when you think of the iconic geek, right? They don't look like geeks. You wouldn't know them just by looking at them. But when it comes to all-out knowledge of comic books, cartoon characters, and all their bits and pieces, those two know their stuff. You cannot falter them. They can recall instantly about one scene with regards to Batman slapping Robin upside the head because whatever reason, they know everything about comic books.
Yeah, but that's unfair because TJ is literally in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic books. So, if you're in them, you have to know everything about them.
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm. So I have to say that we will have to do another round because one of our Kickstarter rewards, it's a digital comic book of Dolmen. You guys have to check that out. See you later.
Do you know what? Give us a preview or whatever, and I will guarantee you TJ and Drac will have you on at some point. Talk about it.
God. Careful what you wish for, Pedro. Those two don't take any prisoners. They're very serious about the comic book.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Be scared.
Right, I just want to touch back on a topic that I've been brewing on, while listening to you guys just chatter on there. G used the phrase triple I, and, everyone wants to go double A, triple A. Do you really want to go double A or triple A? Particularly triple A with regards to what EA and some other developers are pulling off. I'd much rather prefer to stay with the Kickstarter sort of funding where you're, crowdfunding, you're making the game for the community. You want to sort of make the game your community want to play, and you remain a triple I, because that's a more noble cause. I'm very keen for that. Is this where you could want to sort of stay, or you definitely want to go towards the big publisher sort of AAA route, and then get the millions and be discovered?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the moment we're just a small studio in Brazil with a team of 20 guys, like doing our own game, like crazy people. But like Rachel said, anything can happen, right? We really our main focus right now is just make it really fun for the players and ship this game and ship it. But if we can find a publisher, it would be really great because we would be able to give more content to the players, and I think that's what Dolmen deserves too, because Chapter 1 is just the beginning, guys.
That's actually a fair comment. Use the publisher to sort of create extra content, hire more people, develop the game further, make it better, bigger, harder, faster.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And of course, the publisher, it's not all about funding, right? They can help a lot with many other things, like localization,
distribution, advertising, organization. Yes. Even QA.
Yeah, let's not ignore the fact publishers can give you contacts that you can build them yourselves, but it's a nightmare and it takes ages. So things like if you need optimizations for hardware, etc., they are really the go-tos.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we'll be able to do what we do, develop the game.
So, Pedro, will you take a little bit of critique for the game as well?
Oh yes. There's always the people that don't like when it's compared to Dark Souls, and a really good comment. Bad but good comment that we had. I don't know, on Facebook. I think a guy said, "Oh, I can't believe another Dark Souls copy. Oh my God, you guys, you don't get enough. Please stop that." And then he was like, in another comment, "Okay, but I'll probably play that because I end up playing all the Dark Souls copies." So yeah, and of course, because the game it's still in development, the people that play can see it's still not as polished as it's supposed to be, and some animations are still work in progress. And in fact, everything is still a work in progress, right?
I'm sorry, I don't get the Dark Soul copy at all. If it was me, I'd be comparing it to something like a Mass Effect 2 / Starship Troopers copy. But that I wouldn't even use the copy. I'd say like a mash, like a jam together and made to fit, and it looks good. That's what I'd go for. Sort of Starship Trooper, sort of Mass Effect 2 sort of look. That's what I think it is personally.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, everyone to their own opinions.
Yes. Yes. We get that a lot too, Ben. Yeah, people that special Dead Space and Mass Effect, because it was really one of our inspirations too. And I think you were right on the spot too, Ben. What we're doing here is it's a mixing of a lot of things that we ourselves, the developers, like to play. We have the people here that likes Bloodborne and Dark Souls. Me personally, I'm more of a Halo and Dead Space guy.
That's why he's in a tube. That's why. Yes. Now it makes sense.
No,
there we go.
I'm only the producer.
Yeah.
I don't get involved.
The intro suddenly makes a whole lot more sense. Now that I know that you're a fan of Halo. Done.
Anyway, you ran away from my questions earlier, or my observations, if I may.
Oh, sorry.
No worries, because you're right. It is early days, and anybody who looks at it, and particularly gets to try the demo, will notice, there is still work to be done. There's still polishing to be done. There's some animations here and there. There's some clipping into the floor. And which also goes, if you're looking on Twitch, etc., I might be streaming it tomorrow, which will be
awesome.
useless to tell people listening to it in 4 days' time because I will have streamed it in the past.
No, we'll
But-
definitely tune in. Let us know.
But there is it does clip into grounds. It does have some headaches. The controls when playing on mouse keyboard are subpar. That they don't feel good. But these are, from what I can tell, because you have a certain focus towards a controller. I think it would probably play quite nicely with those controls on a controller. So there's some things to kind of just go back and polish some more. And
Yes.
purely because I am a PlayStation owner, not an Xbox owner. Well, there's both over in the rack. But if I'm grabbing a controller and connecting to the computer tomorrow, I'm grabbing a PlayStation controller. It will irritate the heck out of me on a personal level if it keeps showing Xbox icons. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're right, G. Yes, we the Xbox is there just because we got the dev kits from Microsoft first, but we're still waiting for the Sony's one too. Don't worry. So you were from the blue side of the force, right?
In a manner of speaking, yes. And I guess I know most games actually on PC show Xbox controller icons because that's also the default for Windows controllers. So it makes sense. Just ping the actual controller settings and ask what kind of controller it is and show the right icons. Later on, it doesn't have to be now, but later on, make sure you show
Yes.
the right ones.
We have that for keyboard and Xbox set up already, but you're right. The keyboard still need a little bit of tweaking, and of course, we will also have the option on the settings for you to make your own configuration and put any action in any button as you want.
Yeah, except I couldn't access that part of the settings.
Yes, on keyboard it's tricky, right? You have to use R and Q too.
Okay, I'll try that. But yeah, I'm grabbing a controller tomorrow and hooking it up just to see if I can get it working.
Perfect.
Yeah, I had the same thing too. I had to get a new PC controller.
Yeah, it's I am a
better.
control user. I don't use mouse key, but I just didn't have a controller near me when I tried today and just go, okay, well, it's a PC game. It should play with mouse and keyboard. And I'm terrible at mouse and keyboard. There are some issues with hitting things. I can't tell if it's me, if it's the keyboard setting, or if it's the game, but that's probably just, again, me. And I think more polishing is just going to help. So we need, well, the Kickstarter is funded. Let's say that. Yay.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
officially.
Yeah.
On
But
to the
let's
next
throw a
level.
lot more money at the Kickstarter. Let's get it even more funded so you can really polish it.
Yeah, we're nearing this section for 20,000 is 2 new weapons. So if you want to talk about that, what weapons would come? That's the next level, and then we have 2 new enemies. After that would be our next rung.
Ooh, new enemies is always fun. What kind of enemies are we looking at?
All the levels we have like regular enemies and then champions, mini boss, and big boss. So for that enemies will be the champions.
So wait, if we put more money into it, or if people put more money into it, you're adding more difficult enemies. I'm not sure that I like that.
Yes.
Or challenge.
Nah, it's I like the enemies now, but yes, mini bosses, super bosses, they're all fun. 'Cause let's face it, all the other things are there to be slaughtered, so we can get to them.
I'd like
Yes.
to get up to the point for a female character too.
That's what I was about to say, Rach. Yeah, me too.
That'd be fun. Choice.
Should that be the default? Couldn't you swap that around, make the female now, and then if we get to a certain point, we can get a male one?
Good idea, G.
It's just it's
Hybrid.
boring that we always default. I have a ton of games where I can play as male or sort of male. Like I'm literally writing a review right now of a game where one of the things that annoy me is you can play as something androgynous and that's it.
Yeah, a strange game is gonna exiles, right? Because everyone is naked.
Oh yeah,
never
well,
heard of
you can
that.
choose to. You can choose to be naked and go in exiles.
Haha.
I don't think that works in Dolmen because the enemies look like they tear you apart.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too comfortable.
Yeah, the funny thing about Dolmen is that you start with that armor and all it's like a spacesuit, but in fact you're naked. That's your first. You have to put up your armor on top of that, but there you're naked.
That's fair enough. I mean, it represents the scenario, the environment that you're in. it's a hostile planet however you look at it. So your default, your most base setting, still has some kind of armor and you still have some kind of shield.
User
Yes.
joined your channel. User left your channel.
Sorry, no idea what just happened. Somebody joined and left. Now, let's get some other small details out because we're slowly approaching the 50-minute mark already. Wow, time is fun when you're having class. It's purely single player. There's no networking, there's no couch co-op, there's nothing. You are alone on a planet, right?
Yes. On our GDD and on all the design, the game is ready for multiplayer too. We even have a plan for a PvP arena at the end of each chapter. But at the
Dolmen
moment,
Battle Royale.
oh no, yes.
That's
But
the
at
theme
the-
this year.
At the moment, it's only single player.
I like that. I like that there's still games that are going, you know what, we're just single player at this point.
Yeah, at least the first chapter to be more introductory, not only to teach all the mechanics, because we have some new mechanics that sometimes it's people find the game a little hard, but after like 10 minutes playing and when they get the new mechanics, it's not that punitive as other games or other Souls-like games, but yeah, we have multiplayer plans just on our designs at the moment.
I would say if you want hard, try last week's game, Liftoff. 2 hours in, I still don't get anywhere. But no, I'm enjoying it as a single-player story so far, at least. I think that's what it should be. Again, as you say, at this point, if you have designs, multiplayer by all means, but I like that feeling of being alone on this planet and figuring out what's what. Or at least as alone as you are with a voice in your head.
Yes, at the moment we're doing a very important work and a redesign on all the environment to be able to tell a little bit more of the story on the environment itself. So all the rooms are being remade to really have, like, you know, when you go inside that room, you will you at the spot you already see what this room is about, what the people that live there use that room for. So we are doing a whole, now that the level is we're like build like the more the blocking part, we can go over and start playing a little bit more of the story and the quests and everything.
When you say single player and multiplayer, when you say multiplayer, does that mean co-op or just multiplayer online, as in versus other people?
We see just really similar to Dark Souls. You can invite friends to help you beat a boss or a level, but as soon as you do that, your dimension will be open to also be invaded.
Now, you see, I like that mechanic in Dark Souls. I really did. So, yes, please. And can I have some more, please, Pedro?
Yes, and just like we said, how can I say? How we have different gears and levels, and with that, each player will be able to be a lot different from the other ones. Not just because of the gear, but because of his level, and the gear also gives access to a skill tree. So, and you can mix the gear. You're not supposed, let's say, to use helm and armor, pants, and gloves of the same gear. You can mix them up and unlock different skills on the skills tree. So everyone will be different, and it will be really, really fun to see how the players will implement this and how many options they will choose, and ultimately how they will battle between themselves.
A nice varied selection of bits and pieces along with a huge skill tree. This game's just getting better and better, and it's already funded for the first chapter on Kickstarter. Oh yeah, I can see why people funded it. Yeehaw.
Let's go to beta, baby. Yeah, the open beta, we are really anxious to it too, because each day we have more people playing, and with more people playing, more ideas came up, and it's really fun because before developing games, I always thought that the community involvement was just about, I don't know, finding bugs, but not. I didn't see how they could be involved in the really creative part, but now I see that it's almost like they are what they are doing the game, because now the developers are watching each and every one that is streaming or uploading their videos in any social media, and each time they are changing things and see, look, that guy and that guy and that guy and that guy said the same thing, so let's do it, and that's how the game is done, in fact.
That's a very good way of actually utilizing and drawing on your community as a resource to not only find bugs within the actual game, but to actually help push the game further and make it a better game.
Yes, and we our programmers also have an analytics running behind the game. So just like as like soccer games or football games, that you have all those stats after the game, how many hours, how many kilometers each player had run, or which areas of the level they spend more time, and how many enemies they have killed, which enemies they have killed more time, which items they have. So we have, with more players playing the game, we have more data than can make us build an even better game.
Pedro, my friend, you said soccer. I'm not mistaken, in Brazil you also call it football.
Yes. It's called football. Soccer is called football here. It makes more sense for me, right, Nat? If you use your foot.
Yeah, it's just, let's not use the word soccer. That's for people from weird countries. I actually want to bring it back to something you mentioned. Storytelling with the environment. Check out Brigador is actually a really good example of that, where there's no storytelling per se. There's only all the lore around it, out of game, and then the environment, the setting tells the other half of the story. It's really good at that. I think, was it Hugh Monaghan or his brother, did a whole piece on that. It's worth checking out.
Can you type the name for me, G, please? Thank you.
I will send you a text message, but yes, it's Brigador. I'll make sure you get that on text as well.
Brigador is a very interesting game to play. It's, as G said, there's no storytelling in it, but the environment tells the story for you. A very, very interesting, well put together game.
That's awesome. I will check that out.
But, my friends, we pretty much spent our hour.
That's gone by so quickly. Hard
Time
to believe
flew.
it.
So, Bam, is it time?
It is time. Pedro, my good man, you have reached the end of a podcast show type effort, and for that, we are going to ask you one last question. Some call it the penultimate question, and the person that tends to deliver said question is G, as contracted in Section 3, Article 5, under subtext 4 in the index of BR 2170. G, go ahead, my good man.
Again, okay. Well, let's make it fair. Let's ask both Pedro and Rachel, because...
that's a good call, since Rachel is part of the team.
And we'll call it North versus South.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Pedro, Rachel, the penultimate question, as Bam like to call it. Bacon. How do you like bacon? What kind of bacon do you want? How do you want it served, prepared? Basically delicious bacon. What's bacon for you? And
Want to go first, Pedro? You go first.
Well,
You want me to go first?
Rachel, you
Yes,
pick. Second half of the question.
Ladies first. Okay. Okay. What's the second half?
What kind of beverage do you want? Beer, cider. Please don't say red wine. What do you
Vodka,
want with
whiskey,
your...
brandy, rum?
Yeah, what do you want to drink with the bacon?
Okay, so for me, I like the if I have bacon, I don't have bacon very often. I do like the brown sugar type bacon. and it's got to be very crispy and hard. We have Eskimo Joe's here near Oklahoma State College, and they have the best bacon fries. Bacon cheese fries, actually. I don't drink very often, but if I were to spice it up, I would probably have an apple cider beer.
Awesome. Yeah, for
That'd be
me,
a great pairing.
For me, I'm more of a beer guy, and bacon, it's awesome with a Brazilian barbecue. Meat.
As far as I'm aware, Brazilian barbecue is just lots of meat. And for some reason, black beans, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Feijoada, it's called.
Yeah, I
Sounds delicious.
barely managed a portage earlier. I'm not going to try more Portuguese or Brazilian Portuguese.
The thing about
Yeah.
Brazilian barbecues is it's just, as you said, G, it's meat. You know what you're gonna get out of a Brazilian barbecue unless you eat meat. It's meat, bacon, beef, ribs, pork, sirloin, rump. It's just everything on a stick. It's brilliant.
Yes.
But I must
And
say,
what about you, G and Ben?
Oh, no. You see, we asked the questions here, Pedro. You've told us, you see. We use your answers as data that gets collected and put into a poll for the Twitters. So, from what I can gather, Rachel likes candied bacon with an apple
Correct.
cider. That is...
Oh, it's the best.
That's actually recommended. Is it still hard cider, or is it just natural sort of flavored cider?
Like the hard alcoholic cider.
There we go. That's how it's done. That's how it's
If
done.
I were to do it right, yeah. Do it
That's
right.
how it's done. You can still taste the cattle grate in the actual cider. That's hard cider for you. And then Pedro, for you it's just meat, bro. Give us the meat.
And beer.
That's it. What
Special
beer do they have in
Belgians.
Brazil, there, dude? I know there's a popular one that I just can't recall.
Meat?
No, beer, dude, beer.
Oh. Skull?
Skull! Ah,
Skull.
yes, that's it, Skull! Ah, that beer definitely wakes up. You wake up with an axe in your head when you the next day. Seriously, that's what
Yeah.
get you hammered, man.
Yeah, but the Belgian ones are good, right, G?
we have excellent beer here in Belgium, yes.
Disagree.
Telling people, oh, poor Bam. Bam, we have beer that are not warm and have actual CO2 in them.
Well, you can tell it to the Englishman, but I, as African, is drink prop beer.
You're up in the English. But no, I would say I'm going with Rachel on it. The candy bacon is delicious. And I
It
could
is,
actually
yeah.
do me some bacon fritters right now.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what, G, I'm gonna side with Pedro on this one because meat. that's it, dude. Because meat, done. I've been to and done the whole Brazilian barbecue. Mate, great. It's delicious.
Thanks, man. And yeah, please let's stop talking about food because it's dinner time for me here. I'll probably head directly to a Brazilian barbecue house.
Happy days. You go do that,
planted
Pedro.
it.
You go do that. What are you gonna do with it, Rachel?
I think actually I have a $15 gift certificate for a barbecue near me, so now I think I'm going to head to the barbecue as soon as I get off the call as well.
You do that too, Rachel. Yes, more meat for everybody. Yes, the ultimate aim of the Bamsters podcast is to get meat in everybody.
Too much. Rock.
Anyway, should we wrap this up?
Let's wrap it up like a burrito.
Well then, I shall start. Pedro, I have been enjoying the demo, as I've said. I am loving the setting, I'm loving the visuals. I'm ignoring the glitches for now. I love the storytelling, the way you introduce the game. That Voices shows up and talks about. It's a little bit creepy that it likes looking at humans that are sleeping. A little bit worrisome. You might want to have your writer checked. But I like what I've seen so far. People keep hearing me rave on about narrative and narration, the story and how it's told. I like the style that you're telling it in so far. I think there could be done more to the environment to tell that way. But overall, what I'm seeing, again, so far, is excellent. And I think you are definitely heading well into at least AAA territory. This thing needs to be something. It needs to come out. It needs to be played by me repeatedly. Yeah, I really like this.
G, thank you very much for all the feedback, and you, Ben, too, for having us here. And please
Thanks, everybody.
keep playing and send all the feedbacks in our way. Thanks. And Rachel, if you want to wrap this all up for us with a Kickstarter.
Yeah, we're excited with how far we've come so far, and we're going to keep reaching for our goals. We've got quite a bit of time left. And yeah, we're just going to continue collecting feedback and towards making Dolmen the best it can be. That's all I have, guys.
That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Right, guys, thank you very much for joining us on this glorious show. Thank you very much, guys. Toodle pip and TTFN.